Hey guys, welcome to Banter Blitz rescheduled. So I was ill during the previous week and I'm still not quite fine, but I will do my best to provide you with some uh, qualitative content. So we're here to play some games and to discuss everything that is happening on the board, maybe with some additional analysis after each and every game. So just as usual, I would like to know if you can see me and hear me well. And I'm going to accept the challenge from the guy I've never ever played before. So obviously if we have such a challenge, because for now we have only challenges from people I have already played. So I will probably start with Amadeus because we have played only one game. So I'll accept that challenge. We will see. So I'm playing with black in this game. I activated play zone sounds because it was like requested from multiple viewers. Let's see how it works. Okay, so what do we have here? We have 4 knights, right? Maybe Scotch 4 knights. We will see. If I play some like d4, yeah, we have Scotch 4 knights. So bishop b4 is the main response here. White usually captures on c6, then puts the bishop on d3. Oh, bishop to d2. That's something new to me. All right, let's have a look. What's the point? If I take on c3 and then take on e4, there's bishop takes g7. I play rook g8, bishop goes away somewhere. Not clear to me, so I'll just castle. Have no idea. That's the first time I see something like bishop d2 in my life. So what about rook e8 now? Exert an additional pressure on e4. Maybe I want to take on c3 and then take on e4 next move. Why not? So can I do that? That's a good question, but I don't see a reason. I don't see a reason why not. So let's say bishop c3, knight e4, queen g4, attacking the knight on e4 and the pawn on g7, threatening a checkmate. In that case, I just take the bishop on c3. That looks a valid option. Let's check it. And if bishop g7, king g7, queen g4, then queen g5. And feels like I'm a minor piece up. All right, and in this case, what's going on? Feels like I'm just a pawn up, right? Of course, it will be not simple to convert it because we have opposite colored bishops, but extra pawn is extra pawn, right? h3. Okay, let's put the bishop on f5. Looks like an active square attacking c2. Now queen probably wants to get to d4. All right, so what to do against that? I'm not so sure. So probably we'll have to play some like f6 a bit later. So let's prepare everything carefully. So if queen g5, then bishop g6, we're fine. If queen d4, then f6, again, everything is under control. Should we exchange rooks in this situation? I mean, it will be really hard to squeeze anything out of this position after that, but yeah, hard question. So let's keep rooks on the board for now. Let's control this. Oh my god, what am I doing? That's such a blunder, what I have just done. Okay, it's just the first game. I have to play several games, I think, to, you know, get back to normal shape, if it is possible in general. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I have problems here with my g7. I don't know what to do even. Well, let's go back to f5 and put this bishop on g6. Crazy position. I mean, I'm having only 30 seconds here. All right, so bishop is on g6, so I'm ready to play f6. where after I will be more or less safe, but again, I'll show you how white could actually, yeah, do something much better than he did, probably just winning the game or something like this, something really close to that result. So 30 seconds only. Okay, let's control the e-file. Let's try to be a bit more aggressive here with our pawns in the center. After all, we have extra material, we should convert it somehow, which means creating a passer and trying to promote this passer. Okay, so we made a huge progress because our opponent kind of helped us a lot. All right. So some stuff here. Rook e7, b7 may be an interesting maneuver. Still not clear how we're going to convert this. But yeah, blundering the pawn is not a good idea in general. Right, we have some space here. Come on, why didn't I take the bishop there? That's a good question. I didn't expect that move at all. Playing like he did, honestly. So I don't deserve winning this game, to be honest. But maybe I will anyway. Yeah, fantastic bullshit what I'm doing here. All right, we won the game with the checkmate, but it was super bad game. I mean, it's really, really bad one. So let's have a look at the moment where I played bishop to e6. That was so bad. I mean, I don't even understand why I did that. But let's have a look. So it was somewhere here. Yeah, so yeah, bishop to e6. Already here, white could have played queen to g5, attacking g7, and I don't know what to do. I mean, feels like f6 is the only move, because if I play g6 here, then after queen f6, well, it's time to resign, I believe. So it's just a forced checkmate, right? King f8, queen h8, and bishop to f6. It's not even losing the rook, it's losing the game immediately. So something like this. If I play f5, for example, then rook takes e6, also time to resign. If queen takes, then queen g7, checkmate. So I think that the only move is f6, and then bishop captures f6. There is still this threat of rook takes e6. Probably here I can play g6, but first of all, the material balance was restored. Now I have all the dark squares around my king super weak. So white can proceed with different things, maybe something simple like bishop back to c3 with the idea of queen f6. There will be always a threat of just, checkmating me on h8. Rook e6, sort of threats. Well, in various lines, it may be possible to do something like that. But in general, queen g5, and I think white is already better. That was fantastic blunder of mine. Probably... Well, d6 in this position looks natural, right? So we cover e5 square, preventing queen e5 and prepare the development of the bishop. But maybe bishop f5 was already not that great. Because, to be honest, there is nothing to do there on that diagonal. Maybe bishop b7 was better. Maybe c5 first, and then bishop to b7. But it's risky, because if we play something like c5, there is queen e4. Yeah. Then queen can jump to after c5 it's not possible. Don't know, but I'm really not satisfied with the way I developed my pieces after all. So, okay, nice game, interesting one. I mean, nice for my opponent, not for me. So from my perspective, it was just terrible what I've done. As for my opponent, probably it's not a good idea to give up a pawn at so early stage. All right, guys, let's continue. Let's have a look if we have some challenges from guys I've never played before. Yes, I can see one, so I will accept that one. All right, so I'm playing with white pieces. Let's play e4. And a look in defense. Interesting. Interesting. Let's go. Kramnik student says that queen h6 after g6 in that line. Yeah, that's true. Queen h6, the threat is rook takes e6, but I can protect that bishop with the rook e8. I mean, I'm still holding. It's not that I'm lost completely, but was definitely very annoying after just having extra pawn for nothing, right? So, famous line. White wants to play knight to g5, attacking f7, then queen f3. Oh, castling. As far as I remember, e6 is the right move. Castling should be quite dangerous. So the question, is this stream live or pre-recorded? Of course it's live. So knight takes f7, rook f7. No, it doesn't work. I mean, queen f3 forces e6, where after we can play queen to h3. As far as I remember. That is interesting. Or maybe f4 was a move. Yeah, if black plays e6 immediately after knight g5, then after queen f3, castling is not recommended because of queen to h3, forcing something like h5 or h6, then knight goes back to f3, and black's position on the king side is super vulnerable, and you can basically easily attack the king there. But this position is slightly different, so here black may play d5. Oh, this way. Didn't expect that at all. So now we can take on f7 with the knight. Is it good or bad? So knight takes f7, forcing queen somewhere. There will be a threat of what? Of knight jumping to e5 or g5 with check. It should be okay for white, right? I mean, I don't see a big problem with that. Maybe I'm blundering something. Oh, let's check. I mean, let's take on f7, attacking the queen for now. Let's just take queen, all right? No, come on. We have extra rook. Well, maybe my knight will not escape, but I don't see how black is going to trap it. So that was probably a big blunder of black. So probably black forgot that after knight f7 I actually attacked the queen, right? That's the thing. Okay, so just extra rook here. That's interesting. So I expected something like queen takes d4 here, where after position is not clear, right? So I can jump with the knight somewhere with check from my bishop, but then king goes away. So what? So still not so sure if I'm even achieving anything. So I have no idea. Maybe c3 or something here deserves attention. So it's a question if the queen has a good square to go away. Because, for example, on d7 it will be attacked after knight e5 check. On g4 it's the same, just knight takes e5 with check from the bishop and then captures the queen. Or maybe queen g4 first, bishop g4, and then knight e5 check and takes the bishop, so extra minor piece. Maybe queen to c5, but then I have bishop to e3. Yeah, this position may be already lost for black. Don't know, deserves additional analysis, but from what I know, the main line here is e6. And then after queen to f3, queen goes to e7, something like this, knight e4, d takes c5, bishop g5, queen b4 check, c3, queen a5, I guess. Something like that. So it's a long theory which actually finishes with pretty much balanced ending. All right. Instead of queen f3, just e6, Kramnik students' recommendation. Let's have a look. So knight g5, castling. And instead of queen f3, just e6. Hell yeah, it was also good, right? f6 and then something like knight f7 followed by d5. Yeah, maybe just super bad for black. But in that case, I would have played much longer, I believe. So that was a lucky choice of mine, queen to f3. Okay, cool. So let's continue. Do we have another challenge from someone I've never played before? Yeah, here is one. Well, actually even two, I guess. No, one has just disappeared. So, you know, let's accept the challenge from FIDE Master. I don't remember if we played. I think it's the first time we're playing. So, all right, e4, e5. Knight f3, knight to c6. So what do we? Bishop e2. All right. Okay. Knight f6 and what? And d3. So we have Philidor reversed. Okay. Shouldn't be that bad for black, to be honest. Let's just continue with the development. This way. All right, absolutely acceptable. So let's just play d5. b4 is probably planned, so I'm going to stop it with the a5. I don't think black has problems here. So I think the psychological trick here is that black may think that his position is already better, but it's probably not the case. Most likely it's not the case. So we should be careful here. Let's try something like this. I mean, I want to try to develop my bishop to either b7 or a6 to exert some additional pressure in the center. Let's say b7 for now. And white may want to bring the bishop to g5, right? To exert some pressure on my d5. It's probably not so dangerous, so we should, in my opinion, just ignore that threat and continue with the centralization. So let's say rook e8, maybe then queen d7 and rook a to d8. Looks very good. So let's do it. All right. So now we are centralized. The development is complete, at least in black's camp. It looks like that. The question is, what is next? So we may try something like d4 now. But then cd4 and what? We have c7, which is vulnerable. What can be also played here is something like, you know, h6, maybe queen to e6, knight d7, knight c5. It's a bit slow, but maybe absolutely playable. d4 looks tempting, but I don't think we have correctly placed pieces for it. So after cd4, let's say I would like to take with the knight, and after knight e4 to take with the piece again, to have sort of, you know, neither of pawn structure, but reversed. Not sure. Okay, let's try to protect c7. I'm not sure it's a good idea, but I want to try to threaten with this d4. So d4, cd4, knight d4, knight d4, queen d4, something like this can be played now. So what do we have here? We have a bit more space, which is a good sign, but apart from that, I'm not sure that we have anything specific. So this position should be just balanced, I guess. So what about d4 now? I think we can try it. And take him with the queen. That's why I played rook c8. So c7 is protected. With the rook on d8, it was not possible to do something like that because c7 was under pressure. Okay, now where to put the queen? Let's just start with the d7 position. I don't think it's bad. Now let's put the pawn on c5 to control d4 completely. Of course, it weakens some squares in our camp as well, like b5. But I guess it's an interesting version anyway. Version of Marozzi bind, some sort of... I mean, we shouldn't be worse here for sure. Wish black. The only piece that irritates me is my dark squared bishop, which is quite bad for now. But we can try... actually exchange it at some point. Okay, bishop g5 with the idea of doing what? Just taking the knight and then playing knight to d5? Well, maybe. Okay, I mean, I'm not against. Let it be. We can fight for that square with our bishop. So it shouldn't be that dangerous. Okay. Now what? Trying to unpin the knight. Okay, now it's captured. Fine. So now we have pair of bishops. Of course, this bishop is not so active, but we can change it easily. Bringing it to h6. I think it's quite good already. We can even take on d3 next move after rook e2, I guess. Queen goes away somewhere, but then it may be not so simple to unpin, but I think we can just step back. Well, probably just move the queen away somewhere. Should be fine, right? It's knight e5, creating no threats for now, so I'll just capture the rook on d2, and then just play this bishop b7, immediately attacking it. Alright, and putting the bishop on c6 looks safe, just controlling both d5 and b5. Alright, extra exchange. Position is still complicated, of course, but I think we have good chances to win the game. Queen h6. Is there a threat? Not really, I don't see one. So probably we can play a bit more aggressive chess. I hope I'm not super blind and don't actually miss something simple here. So is it possible to take on e4 then to take on d1? Probably it's not necessary even. So what about queen b2 instead? Attacking the knight and the pawn on b3. And e4 is still hanging, right? Rook d2. Okay, so capturing the pawn, right? Yeah, because why not? We can capture one more on d3. Come on. Blundering knight to c1, actually. Knight to c1 was interesting. It's probably very good for white. Alright, but white also created some threats. I underestimated them completely. So, should be really careful here. By the way, the sounds are back. What's going on here? I'm under attack. That is what's going on here. But fortunately, we can deal with this, I think. Have enough resources here. Okay. Let's just get to f2 pawn because it looks like our main target now. Rook f6 looks nice. Attacking f2 again. Knight f5, yeah. Missed that one. But we can take this way, I suppose. And this way. And there should be no perpetual, right? Queen g5, king h7. And we escape the perpetual. Okay, but position is quite complicated here. Like... okay. Oh, what? I lost on time. Come on. Come on. I was so slow. All right. Congratulations. So, what was the right way to play it? I mean, the way I played it was just good enough, but I was too slow. Probably I could have prevented all this counterplay completely. For example, here, of course, I could have played something like queen f8, just getting rid of that queen and so on. But all right, that was also quite tempting what I've done here. So queen there, g4. Maybe I underestimated this attack. Maybe I just underestimated. Why didn't I play queen to b1? That is my mistake. Now I see it. So queen b1 was much better, actually. So attacking d3. I mean, b3 is not that important here. Important is to break through the center. That's the thing. So king goes there, for instance, and now we just take this pawn. That was correct, I believe. So just imagine, rook takes, queen takes, knight is hanging, e4 is hanging. White is not even in time to play g4 and create some threats. That's the difference. And I'm not even sure that the way I played was tactically sound. For example, here, maybe I missed something, but knight to c1 looked very tempting. I wasn't sure what to do here, even. So I just want to take on d3, and the queen controls this long diagonal, right? So d2 is protected, so something like this, then just rook d3 and knight on c1 is protected. So, yeah, somewhere here I started playing badly. So queen to b1 and then rook takes d3. That was the right way to play it. All right, nevertheless. Let's continue. Now it's time to get back to normal challenges, and another game is already a huge challenge, so shelling for it. Let's go. I'm playing with black. Okay. So something closed here this time. c5. So Queen's Indian defense, one of the interesting lines. So let me remember. Bishop c5 is not that great here, so immediate knight c6 is what should be played. Knight goes away to b3. And now, so we have different options, obviously. So something attacking c4 looks tempting, but probably it's not that dangerous for white. What if we just continue development the normal way, like bishop e7, castling, and then decide what to do? We may end up in a position which is just a hedgehog, right? Which should be acceptable for black, I guess. So here we can play e5, we can play d6. I would prefer playing d6 in this case. Because I don't know, maybe white wants to play something like g4. In that case, I will probably keep my king in the center for some time. Yeah, here we go, as you can see. And let's just play h6 for now. It stops white's attack. Well, it slows it down, I think, a bit. Bishop there. So now a6 controlling b5 with the idea of queen to c7. So from the Queen's Indian, we entered something much more typical for Sicilian or for English hedgehog. That's how knowledge from you know, different openings may help sometimes. Or the opposite. So now, knight to d7 looks interesting. Just going away in advance and attacking h4 and maybe controlling g5 square. Maybe intending to bring the knight to c5, because why not? For instance, now we can try knight to c5. I mean, I don't see a big problem with this move, and I believe it's quite helpful because we're fighting for d4 square, right? So knight c5, bishop c5, and then our knight gets amazing spot on d4. And if knight goes away right now, there is knight d4, which is also pretty annoying for white, I believe. So let's see. B takes c5, looks natural. And, well, for now I'm satisfied with the results of the opening. But we will see. Position remains super complicated. Okay, castling. Okay, sounds are back. It's cool how they don't work, like, at all. And now we can take on h4, right? Should we? I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that idea. It's just a pawn which prepares g5, right? If we eliminate it, we should be good. We should be fine. Now, if we step back with the bishop, there will be immediate g5. Is it dangerous for us? It's a good question. We can also just play e5 now, and then bishop to g5. Yeah, that's what I find really satisfying. We may not even need this bishop g5 move. If bishop g3, I will just take that bishop, I suppose. Look at this knight on d4. It's amazing, isn't it? All right, pawn structure is much better. So we should just castle now, I think. Yeah. And g5 is threatening, so probably now f6 should be played. So rook h6 takes queen h6. That shouldn't be that dangerous, but it may be, so should be careful here, super careful. Let's start with this move. So I want to take on d5 and then immediately queen b6 attacking b2. That's my plan. Rook to h1. So now, is it the right time to go for counterattack? I think yes. Let's do it. So there is a threat of a checkmate on b2. But what is next? Simply rook b7 and rook b8, I guess. Right? I mean, white is able to protect b2 easily, like queen d2 or something. Or queen to c3. So what is the follow-up? So rook b7 and rook b8, I believe. Yeah, looks good. Looks nice. Feels like we should be faster than white here. b4, okay. What if I just take? Don't see why not. Aha, this way. Yeah, it was simple. I mean, I don't understand why I didn't even consider it. But did I have anything better than taking on b4? That's another question. Maybe I didn't. So now rook h6 may be a threat. How to prevent that? Knight to b5 is an interesting move with the idea of knight to c3. Just simplifying the stuff, right? I think it should be played. So we attack the queen on e3 with our queen on b6, and if queen takes queen, then knight c3 check first, and then we take on b6, and we are 2 pawns up, and without queens there should be no attack. And if white rejects the queen straight, goes away, then our knight on c3 should be very strong. Now our queen can go to f2, creating sort of a checkmate on a2. I guess it's kind of very annoying for white. Should be, at least. So what is the right way to play here? e4 maybe. So e4, bishop takes e4, rook to e8. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I think we need the rook in that attack. So let's do it. Also preparing this move. So on f8, my king should be safer than on g8. We still have some extra material, right? And wow, I don't know. All right. Yeah, okay. It's just lost position for white. Whew, that was a nice game, right? That was a nice game, very interesting. So at some point, maybe I started playing badly, but in general, the opening stage was won by black, I believe. So somewhere here, I was already pretty comfortable. Yeah, and especially after e5. So maybe here I may have played safer. I mean, but even the way I played it, I think was just good enough, right? So maybe somewhere around this moment I missed a more convincing way of actually winning the game, but in general, yeah, it was pretty good stuff. Yeah, somewhere here, by the way, so I missed that g5, so maybe e4 was not needed or something. So maybe immediate queen f2 was a good option. I was not sure because in that case something like rook h6 is possible, so I didn't see a clear checkmate there or something. So of course I may give some checks, but not more than that. That's why I was trying to, you know, kind of close this diagonal for queen and bring my rook there and create a, you know, some room for my king, something like that. All right. Anyway, thanks for the game. Very interesting one. A real challenge. Okay, Super Bohemio is next. Accept. Yeah, challenge. So playing against two super challenging opponents in a row. My God, I'm too old, guys. Please show me some mercy. Not even playing f3. That's surprising. Okay, let's put the bishop here. Aha. Oh gosh. Let's do something unexpected. Bishop to e6. Well, normally, of course, you would expect something like bishop to g6, but I'm just in the mood to experiment a bit. I know this is a terrible pawn structure after bishop e6 and takes. My bishop will have some problems, but you know, it's like in some lines of Aleutian defense. So if black plays correctly, then there is no serious problem with that bishop actually. So something like g6, bishop g7. Of course, these pawns will drop one by one on the e-file, but white had also has also created some weaknesses. And d5 is the move I completely missed. All right, just back to c8 then. Okay, and then knight to d7. What we have achieved here, we at least forced white to close the diagonal for the bishop. So the bishop is no longer that dangerous, right? And we're still a pawn up, of course. I don't believe that e4 will survive it, but for now, if queen e4, we just play knight to f6, attacking the queen and the pawn on g4. Okay, g5. Now we can challenge the bishop. Something like knight to b6 looks correct. And now bishop d7. I guess if there is an exchange on d7, I just take with the queen. d5 is under attack. We can quickly castle, so I'm satisfied with that position. Okay, let's just castle and quickly undermine d5 with the e6 or c6, opening the position because white is still trying to develop the pieces while we have developed everything, right? Shelling Ford says, I played like a drunk gunner. It doesn't quite suit my style. Yeah, that was pretty unexpected. So what I usually expect when I play against you is that you actually may start the attack at some point, but you usually try to prepare everything carefully, just like me. I don't know. But this queen e2 g4 plan is a valid one, absolutely. So probably should be executed a bit differently. Okay, so bishop b4 looks like a move here. Simple capture on d5. Again, I don't see anything wrong with that. So why not take in there? Okay, bishop b4 looks like a move that forces the king to go to not very pleasant position. Now we can take on d5, right? And by the way, we can even simplify the stop with the queen takes d5, because if queen takes b4, we take the rook. It's a question of taste here. I mean, yes, opponent's king is bad. So probably we should keep queens on the board, right? Okay. Should be dangerous for black. I don't believe white has anything on the queen side. And we're ready to bring another rook to e8 and take on e3 after that. Yeah, come on. So if bishop captures on a7, it may be trapped there easily. After something straightforward like b6, let's say, and then queen to a4 or something like that. Okay, a3 attacking the bishop. I just want to bring the rook with the tempo to the game. So rook e8 first, and then we'll see. Feels like a winning position for black, honestly. So takes on e3 with check. Queen b5, check. Queen d3, check. Simple bishop to c5, I think, is just fine for black. Everything is just fine. Yeah. Black has extra pawn and much better position. So check. One more check. Everything is almost automatic here. Nothing to think about. Just bring the pieces to active positions. and you're gonna be good, right? I don't know, what is next target? Probably h2. Let's try h2. First of all, of course, g5 should be somehow protected. But then when it is protected, there is bishop d6 trying to get to h2. e4 is also hanging, by the way. Yeah, so there are various targets for me here. Rook there. Okay, let's just take it. e4 can be protected now with the knight to g3 move, let's say, but we can also grab that pawn on a3. I mean, should be anyway a winning position for black. Okay. So I don't know, let's just protect f7, right? a3 is still hanging. I believe it's not the best technique you've ever seen, but still, just good enough for winning the game, I believe. Like, taking one more. So how many pawns do we have here? Like a lot, right? So no need to finish the game with the checkmate. Let's just exchange pieces and yeah. Check. So the sound works only at the beginning of the game, at the end of the game, and when it's check, right? Because I cannot hear the sound of moving pieces, but it should be there. I don't know what happened. Okay, so what to say here? So when I captured on e4, I expected f3 move, undermining this stuff. Yeah, and here, of course, I think you should have tried bishop takes e6. Just playing this stuff. And then something like, I don't know, maybe knight e2, preparing knight g3, taking the pawn. Maybe knight c3, taking the pawn. Or maybe just developing your pieces quickly, then queen d2, castling. And yes, playing this pawn structure. Well, at least here you could have regained the pawn easily, and long term you could have had the better pawn structure, right? So what we have done here was pretty simple play for black, I would say, especially here, as you can see. So, like a super improved version of Scandinavian defense for black. Okay, next one is Onem. Accept the challenge. Playing with white pieces, and this one is 3+2, right? So no risk to lose on time. And just as expected, something like modern defense here. No, knight f6. And simply Pertz. Okay, let's play Pertz. That's what I usually do here. I just undermine that pawn. After b4, I play knight e1 and c3 and stuff. Alright, so this time we're playing something else. Queen goes to a5. What is the idea behind this? We can play rook a2 if we want to force black to play something like b4. But I'm not even sure if I want to force black to do something like that. Well, feels like it's better for me just to develop the pieces. Bishop d3, knight to e2. So a4 is protected right there. Is no threat of b takes a4. I'm fine with that move. So yeah, let's just develop the pieces. Now we may try something like this. Just bring the knight to b3, attacking the queen, and hence attacking the b5 pawn. Castling could have been played as well, with a similar idea. Okay, now knight goes to e2. Then knight goes to b3. Queen goes away, maybe a5, just separating pawns, b4 and a7. Maybe making this b4 target for future play. Not sure if I should do it. Because now the c5 may be a threat. Maybe an annoying stuff. Yeah, c5 should be met somehow, so c4 square should be somehow controlled. Or we should have some sort of counterplay against it. What is the problem with the b3 move against c5? Well, it weakens diagonal h8, a1. I don't like it. Maybe we can play bishop h6 and exchange those bishops, but it will be anyway quite annoying for me to play against c5. So, what to do here? Guess I will play this move. I know it's not good. Now the knight on c1 is kind of stupid. Indeed. But at least I managed to protect my center. So my position is not that bad. And c5 is not dangerous anymore. Doesn't look dangerous at least. So maybe now we can play a5, preventing knight to b6 move, and preparing something like bishop to c4 hands, improving the position of the bishop. But black may play d5 even. I don't see anything good in my position anymore. Really. So, let's try something different. Germanicus says 1485, ha ha ha. What's so funny here? Onam is playing very good chess, by the way, at least against me for sure. d5 deserves serious attention. Yeah. That's what I wanted to perform, this maneuver, kind of improving the position of the knight at least, and having some pressure on the queen side, but I'm not sure if I have anything specific. Maybe there is nothing. Yeah, rook to b5. What to do now? Queen to c4 or something? Rook a5 takes, queen takes c6. What is this? Absolutely unclear to me. My bishop is slightly better though, in general. Not sure that queen b6 was a smart idea, because now there is a threat of just taking on e5. Of course, my bishop was hanging on the e3, but now it's not hanging. So maybe it's just a waste of time. b2 is controlled by the knight, so there is no rook b2 or something. Aha, this way. Not sure, again. Maybe not so good for black. Because the rook has not so many moves here, so I'm going to trap it and end up with the extra exchange, right? As a result, yeah, extra exchange and maybe more now, because that knight on c7 is also captured. Yeah, I won the entire rook, and yeah, should win the game hence. Yeah. Okay. So at the end, of course, it became quite messy. But I think the problem started after queen to b6 move. So that was not correct, in my opinion. Which kind of, in my opinion, just a waste of time, because black doesn't really create a threat and puts the queen on the super vulnerable position. So instead, I would have played something like rook to b8. Yeah, just doubling rooks on the b file and waiting for white's next move, because I don't see a concrete plan for white. I wanted to try something like queen to c4, but after queen c4, maybe d5 is even possible. So if takes, then knight takes, attacking the bishop, then taking on d4, and so on. So it's kind of, yeah, a bit of help for black if I play queen to c4. That's the first thing. And immediately after bishop to c4, instead of playing bishop to e6, d5 was quite good, I think. Well, at least very interesting. All right. So ed5, cd5 is very good for black, so I have to go back probably, in which case my pawns start looking very vulnerable here. So maybe something like knight e6, or maybe taken first and then knight e6. I don't know, maybe bishop e6 here. So black should be at least not worse. But that's my feeling. Of course, I don't know the evaluation of this position. All right, so the next one, 3-minute game, so we have to be careful. And I'm playing with black here. Area 51 says chat is not active. Yeah, because it is a rescheduled episode, I believe. Not so many people here. So Queen's Indian defense, at least an attempt to play Queen's Indian defense. Let's see. Bishop to g5 is one of the options, of course. Knight to c3, and we have a hybrid variation. So the hybrid of Nimta Indian and Queen's Indian here. e3, okay, h6. With the idea of g5 and knight e4. All right. So pair of bishops now. But most likely we will give up the one on b4 for the knight on c3. So probably not for a long time. But anyway, position is quite comfortable. So we have a better pawn structure. We easily develop our pieces in normal positions. Our bishop on b7 is quite good. I'm satisfied with the position for sure. So let's just castle. So the easiest plan that can be implemented here is something like knight c6 and knight a5 and bishop a6 attacking c4. Then probably playing c5 at some point and bring the rook to c8 and basically winning the pawn there. I'm going to try that one. Bishop there. Okay, let's just take. Not sure it was a good idea for white to play something like that, because now I can take the pawn on c4. Otherwise, the pawn structure could have been damaged. So answering the question from Konstantin Yefimov on YouTube, yes, I do, but I'm not going to use this language during this stream. So, a5. Now finally white managed to get some sort of the pawn center, but again I'm not sure that it's a sufficient compensation for missing pawn. Now position looks like a French defense, but we no longer have a bad French bishop on c8, right? So it's a great version for black. Okay, let's just exchange that one. We no longer need that piece. And the plan should be to create a passer on the queen side. So I believe something like rook b8, c6, b5. If white, of course, prevents b5 move, maybe it will be possible to do that without playing c6. But as we may notice, white is trying to prevent black from playing that move, so probably c6 will be needed. Yeah, let's do it. Should we double rooks? I think yeah, because if we play b5, then rook b1, and there is this annoying penal on the b file. So let's do this stuff. Let's just double rooks and advance. Queen g4. Not sure if there is a threat, so let's play b5. Again, I don't see a threat, so probably we can just double rooks now. And after a b5, we'll capture with the rook, obviously because we don't want to lose the pawn on a5. And this move is very strange. So probably the idea is to bring the rook to g3, right? Oh, okay, interesting. But I don't think, oh, even to h3, no, to h3 doesn't work at all. Just capturing d4, capturing a1. On g3 it was the same, by the way. Yeah, so from g3 at least white could have created a threat of a checkmate. Here there is no even a threat. Nothing. Okay, where is our checkmate? Do we need one? Not sure. G takes h6, king h6, king f8, queen g7, king e7, queen f6, king e8, queen h8, and king d7 escaping. Right, so. Oh, there is no escape. Oh my god. I just blundered that completely. I'm really lucky that there is no immediate punishment. Really. That's fantastic. I mean, I didn't see king f6. So stupid I am. Really. That's a great luck there was no checkmate, right? Yeah, there is no checkmate. My king escapes anyway. Oh my god. But that was close. I mean, I calculated only king h6 and here's just king f6 all of a sudden. All right. Thanks for the game. One more. Area 51. Here we go. This is a challenge. The third challenge, the third real challenge today, so my god. There's no mercy. Guys are just attacking me. So Trompovsky, one of these lines where black gets pair of bishops quickly. Okay, the sound of castling is there. That's nice. So what do we have here? Again, like an exchange variation of the French and, you know, pair of bishops. So normally French is not dangerous for black if there is no dark squared bishop in white's camp, because dark squared bishop is the piece that finishes the attack usually. There is no that bishop, there is no attack. Well, it's usually like that. Of course, each and every position is individual and should be evaluated separately. But here, I mean, should be just fine for black. Although this knight's on e5 and potentially on, you know, f4 or something may be annoying for blacks. Let's make sure that we have some pieces controlling that squares. For example, here, I believe we did some nice job preventing knights from jumping right into our face, so to say. We prevented queen f5. I guess white could have tried knight e5 a bit earlier, which is definitely something deserving attention. Now there is no knight e5 or something. So, what's our plan? Probably just c4, b5, a5, b4, something like that. What is white's plan? That's an interesting question. Not sure. Knight goes to c1, so what's the idea? Maybe to bring the knight on to d3 at some point, right? e5 is controlled for now, so I guess we can try this. c4, b5, I mentioned before. Don't see a problem with this plan. The other question, if it brings us anything serious, but for now it looks just good. Okay, let's take that rook. And play b4. There may be a problem after queen to a4 move, attacking a5. Should we care? I don't know. I don't think so. So after a b4, I'm fine for sure, because if queen goes to a4, there is no threat. Bishop protects the knight, knight protects d5, so everything is under control. e8 and a8 squares are also controlled. So we can try something like b3, creating a target on b2. I'm really tempted to do that, just right now, even separating the queen from the king now. So now we have all sorts of threats, like a breakthrough at some point with the bishop to a3. But for now, let's just bring the queen to b1, I suppose. Nice square to occupy, isn't it? Or maybe c2. Let's see. So I'm already satisfied with my position. Looks really good. Let's bring the queen to c2 now. Yeah, really active. Now we have different ideas, like knight b5, knight takes c3, can be one. First of all, let's make sure there is no check or something. Yeah, with the queen on the board, it could have been much better version for black. But even without queens, it's interesting. Not sure what's my plan now, but white's pieces are super passive, and we should probably exert some additional pressure in the center. Maybe king, maybe one of the knights will be forced to stay there around the b2 pawn. So we should definitely think of opening the position in the center somehow. That's the idea. So knight on d2. I think we need our knight on a4 actually. So let's burn it there. Okay. What is next stage? Just f5, then f4. Do we have a breakthrough? I'm not sure. I'm not sure we have a breakthrough there. Well, let's wait a bit. Now maybe f6 and g5 may be an option. So knight went away. Where it goes? Not quite sure. Yeah, it's not so simple. Not at all. I don't see a winning plan here. Maybe the knight should go to e4 now. Let's see. Okay. Looks like a slight improvement for black. Now I see that we have a chance to bring our bishop to c1. That is very important. Maybe I should have even started with the bishop to h6, but now it looks winning. Now it looks winning for black again. Is there a concrete way to execute it somehow? Gosh, no idea. Probably have to do this. Oh, c2. No, c2 knight b2 was not clear at all. Okay, one on time, and the position was already winning. Okay. So basically, yeah. So what was wrong? I think that replacement of the king and the knight was not a good idea for white. But on the other hand, what to do? Because if white just stays here, let's say king b1, knight d6, intended knight e4, and if something like that, then I can take and play f5. Attacking h4, right? And if knight goes back, excuse me, then I can bring the knight to e4, creating a threat to f2, probably making that knight super passive. Still not clear what to do next, right? So maybe there is a plan like this. King f5, king g4. Yeah, actually white's position is pretty bad. So yeah, I guess that position was anyway quite passive and quite bad for white. So as I said during the game, I believe that white missed the moment to bring the knight to e5. So somewhere here after knight takes a6, and here, just exactly after knight to c7. Why not knight e5? I think that was good. So the idea is just to bring the rooks to the center, then maybe f4, knight to g3, knight to f5, stuff like that. Because white just gave me a lot of freedom. So first of all, I controlled e5, which is still possible, by the way, to bring the knight to e5 even here. Then a3, I didn't understand that move at all. Queen f6 now controlling f5 and e5 squares, so basically limiting the activity of the knights. Yeah, and then I had no problems with just expanding on the queen side. So thanks for the game as well. Area 51. The next one is Keenan accept that challenge. For some reason, there is again a challenge from Onam we have played already. Sorry. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight to c6. And Scotch here. Main line. Oh my god. No, not the main line. All right. This shouldn't be good, I believe. Okay. Just bishop e7, I think. e5 is hanging, so I can play this move. Queen e2. Why did I play this bishop e7? That was a bit stupid. Maybe not even a bit. Really stupid. Bishop to c5 should be played in such a situation. Oh, Lord. Okay, let's improve. Let's admit that was a mistake. Let's bring the bishop to c5. Yeah, unclear situation how to continue the attack. There is no attack, most likely. We can bring the queen even to g3 if we want, like queen h4, knight f3, queen to g3, but then what? There is nothing. With the knight on f3, everything is covered. All right. Well, let's just keep on developing pieces, pretending we have something. In fact, there is nothing, of course. So there's bishop e7, bishop c5 is indeed super stupid. Bishop g5 is kind of not that serious threat, I would say. So probably it's time to relocate because there is nothing to do with the knight on on g4 anyway. Everything is covered there. Yeah, more or less fine. More or less. But of course, it could have been played much better. So now at least my pieces occupy good squares, but I missed that. I could have played knight to g3. Yeah. So probably it's a sign to finish the show, because I start blundering some super simple things. Knight g3 was indeed just winning the exchange. Okay. Never mind. Now it's no longer possible, of course. But we should have some other targets. What if we still play knight g3, queen goes away somewhere, and then we take on h3? Can this be something for black? It looks funny. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, we always have a chance to go back with the knight, or maybe to e4. So let's see. For instance, now knight to e4 looks not so stupid. Bishop e4, d4, queen d7, say king d7 or something. But we don't achieve anything there. Yes, let's see. Bishop takes, h3 takes, knight goes to h2. There is no follow-up for black, obviously. So it will not work. What else? We can play bishop f5, trying to grab the control over light squares, right? Yeah, let's try it. So, I mean, if bishops are exchanged, then the knight may land on e4. This already starts looking something interesting. Yeah, except for this little detail. So... yeah, I'm playing really bad chess in this game. So, bishop takes e4, queen e4, bishop f2, king f2, knight e4, king somewhere, just a minor piece down, nothing as a compensation there. Takes on d3, then knight e4, just bishop is hanging. So probably I have to play this rook takes a5. I don't see anything better than that, unfortunately. Oh, rook b6 immediately. This is a bit surprising. I expected just queen d3, rook a5, rook b6 takes, and then takes on g3. In this case... oh, now I understand the idea. Okay, so two connected passers. Two connected passers. Oh dear lord. Alright, I don't see anything better anyway. Yeah. This is a serious compensation. So we should quickly blockade those pawns somehow. Even better it is to just eliminate them. If it is possible, of course. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's try at least. I have only 37 seconds, so I have to play faster now. Yeah. castle, right? Still possible. So the idea is simple. I want to take on b6. Is in fact that rook on a1 is not protected. Yeah, now it is protected. Okay, let's attack the bishop, which protects the rook. Let's see. So we're close to something, but there is no time. Several seconds on the clock. Really annoying, but feels like we're winning here, right? So position is winning now, but 13 seconds. Okay, our opponent has also some problems with time on the clock. All right, we're super lucky here. Actually, didn't see anything in this game. So just lots of different blunders. Yeah, like this bishop e7 move. What for? Question. Just play bishop c5. That's the move here. Just don't waste the time on it. Okay, can't explain. All right. Nevertheless, thanks for the game. And the last game today is against Olaf. Let's play. Finally, white pieces. Thanks God. So e4. Caracan probably. Yes. Was expected. Olaf doesn't change openings. So one of these interesting lines. Excuse me. Where I play super straightforward chess and just bring everything to the king side and attack. Because I think that's what we should do here with white. Yeah, let's just go 95. Maybe even g4 at some point. We'll see. Probably rook e3 was a bit more accurate because after h3, it's really hard to bring the rook to the h file if it's needed. Okay. Let's take with the knight. Bishop is important. So what is next? We can probably just stop everything with a4. I'm not sure that a5 is correct move. Because black's plan here is the minority attack, and now it's going to be much harder to implement, I believe. Because to play b5, black has to make so many moves. I already control that square 3 times, right? With the bishop, with the queen, with the pawn. My queen can easily go back and relocate to the king side, so b5 is still protected. See no problems with the attack here. e5, okay, maybe I underestimated this move, but I think I'm fine after that as well. So now let's